What is the IUPAC name for the following compound? Notice there are multiple functional groups in this compound. So the first thing we have to do is just figure out which functional group has the highest priority. So going back to our list, we have alkenes and alkynes, and an alcohol. That's what we have in this compound. I know that the alcohol has a higher priority than the alkenes and alkynes, so it will end in ol. Also remember that our alkenes and alkynes do not have a prefix. They're typically not shown as substituents. Instead, we will have a suffix for it. So let's go back. I know I'm going to number the carbon chain where I'm including every functional group. We want the lowest number at the highest priority group, which would have been our alcohol. So this is carbon 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Don't forget that there are carbons here. So 5, that's why everything is pent. Next, even just by numbering, we can eliminate some options. I know that the alcohol is at carbon 1, so A and B are out because those are at carbon 5. And for this specific question, it doesn't necessarily matter or help us figure out whether it's C or D, but I still want to bring it up, knowing when to place the alkene or the alkyne first. This goes back to the compounds that we have with alkenes and alkynes. It's really dependent on whatever is at the end. So if the triple bond is at the end, then that's going to be closer to the end of the overall name. So in our case, it is at the end. That's why it's going to be closer to the higher priority group. Think of this as this is the highest priority group, that alcohol. Then it's the alkyne because it's at the end. Then we have the alkene. That's the third to follow. And then, of course, the numbers as we saw it before. The next thing we have to do really is just identify whether it's Z or E. And we're specifically looking at the double bond. So what I'm going to do is just cut this in half. What you can do is really just follow the arrows and see that these are going opposite directions, and that tells me it's going to be E. Or we can also assign priority and do exactly what we did before when figuring out geometric isomers. This would have had the highest priority, then this one. I'll do the same thing for the opposite side, knowing this has the highest priority, then this one. If our highest priority groups are on opposite sides, that's going to be E. Our answer is D.